The Falcons have finally won a playoff game under Matt Ryan and Mike Smith, and it was a doozy. The Falcons practically had the game in the bag, but the Seahawks were able to fight back because the Falcons went into what I call turtle mode. Fourth quarter, the Seahawks scored 3 touchdowns to actually take the lead, and then the Falcons were able to somehow drive down the field with just a little bit of time left and steal the game back from the Seahawks. Quick quarterback comparison, Matt Ryan 24 of 35 for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Decent game by Matt Ryan. You'd like to see him not throw the 2 picks, but all in all, you can't complain about the effort there. Russell Wilson, what more can you say about this kid? 24 36 for 385 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He is a rising star for sure, and I'll tell you what, in the next couple of years, he's going to be one of the elite quarterbacks in this league if he keeps up the way he's doing. Now, raise your hand if you predicted the Falcons would have more rushing yards than the Seahawks. Probably not many of you. Certainly not me, and really, I mean, I thought that if the Falcons could get their running game going like they had in years past, they had a pretty good chance of beating the Seahawks, and I think that that is pretty much what saved them from losing to the Seahawks because they were able to burn up more clock. Running back comparison for you, Michael Turner had 14 carries for 98 yards. Jacquizz Rodgers had 10 carries for 64 yards. A very good game from both men. It's certainly something the Falcons needed, considering that Seahawks' pass defense is the best in the league by a pretty good margin. On the flip side, Russell Wilson had 7 carries for 60 yards, and here's the kicker. Marshawn Lynch had 16 carries for 46 yards, a 2.9 yards per carry average. The Falcons did exactly what they needed to do in this ball game, and even though Wilson tried to take it away from them, the Falcons were able to drive back down the field and take it back. My MVP of the game has to be Matt Ryan. You know, he threw a tough interception that really let the Seahawks back into the game, but when the Falcons needed him the most, when basically all eyes were on him, basically people were asking, Matt Ryan, what are you going to do now? He drove the Falcons down the field very quickly and set up the game-winning field goal by Matt Bryant. I tell you what, if you're a Falcons fan, certainly you're going to need a few moments to calm down after that one, maybe a few days, because that one played with your emotions all the way to the very end. Coming up next for the Falcons is the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are coming into the Georgia Dome next week, and I tell you what, if the Falcons can beat the Seahawks, I tell you what, they can beat the Niners too, and they got a real chance at the Super Bowl this year. I think a lot of the doubters have been proved wrong, and the Falcons have to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Tony Gonzalez even broke down in tears after the game after he thought for sure they had lost when Russell Wilson put them ahead at the end of the game. But I tell you what, it's been a heck of a ride, and there's a quick recap of the Seahawks-Falcons divisional round playoff game. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons.